Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day. We're going to be talking about today staying ready. Just staying in a constant state of being ready so we don't have to get ready, because if you're in the pursuit of greatness, building a business or whatever you can apply it to, if you're pushing for something and you're going to grow, if you're going to get bigger, if you're going to do something greater, if your business is going to grow, whatever it is that's going to go to this next level, there's going to be adversity. And sometimes it's hard to see when the adversity is going to come, when it's going to go, but it's a constant cycle, this adversity thing. And so either we're in an adversity currently right now while you're listening to this, you're coming out of an adversity, you made it out to the other side, but adversity was not too far back, you made it out of that adversity, or at some point here we're headed towards an adversity, right? So it's this constant cycle of we're in it, we just got out of it, or we're heading towards it. There's just this cyclical thing that just happens over time, that it's just part of the process. And so I think that the way to look at it mentally, right, because we don't lose the battle typically physically, you lose the battle mentally, is the way to look at it mentally is you're in a season. You're in a season of life. So I don't know where everybody's listening to this from, but where I'm at here in Pittsburgh, there's seasons, there's summer, winter, spring, fall, there's different seasons. About every few months, we're going into a different season. One season, it's super cold out, there's snow everywhere, you got to bundle up. And it gets dark early, it's dark at 5, 6 o'clock. Then there's other seasons where you're in a tank top and shorts and it's still hot. You're just sweating, it's summertime. And then there's another time it's hoodie and sweatpants and it's, sweats and football season. And, there's just different seasons of life also, right? So sometimes you're in a season of harvest. Sometimes you're in a season of we just got to sow seed. We're not seeing any results right now. We're just planning. We're just putting in the work, putting in the effort. Then there's other seasons that it don't even seem like you're putting in that much effort and you're reaping all these rewards. Then you're in a season where it's mayhem going on. There's obstacles in your personal life. There's obstacles in your professional life. And it's just what we got to be reminded of is just like snow, it came and went. Just like summer, it came and went. It's just, it's going to come and go, over time. So we got to just anticipate that there's going to be some stuff that comes up over time that we're not prepared for. I think if you just get prepared, that's the best way to be prepared, is you get prepared and stay ready. And so what I mean by that is you got to prepare yourself mentally, physically, emotionally before the adversity hits. And so you do that by training up your mind. I want to give you an example of being an athlete. If you're in a physical sport and it's going to be physically demanding, whether it's basketball, football, tennis, boxing, wrestling, whatever it is, there's certain things that you could prepare your body for, the way that you exercise, the way that you stretch, the way that just gives you a better chance of being able to sustain the impact constantly happening on your body. And we got to do that mentally, right? You got to mentally prepare yourself. You could build your mind up. You could build yourself up to where you can handle heavy loads of impact, in that you already know how to absorb the contact. even though you don't know when it's going to hit, when it hits, you're ready to absorb that because mentally you've been working on yourself. Spiritually, you've been working on yourself. Physically, you've been working on yourself. And the reason why I think the physicality piece of it is big is not so you can have a six-pack. It's not so you can, look good. Although those things are great. It helps your self-esteem, which helps your mental, which I believe is connected to certain levels of stress. But I think if you can physically work and push yourself to your limits, you start to win the argument in your mind. Like, I wanted to quit 5 reps ago. I wanted to quit 1 set ago. I wanted to quit 15 minutes ago. I wanted to quit a half a mile ago. And you learn how to push through that. It builds up the inside of your mind and the mental strength and resiliency that it takes. But then also what it does is there's just science, proven science, that endorphins are released and it puts you in a better mood. I mean, you could just look this stuff up. It's just that when you push yourself in a workout, when you get a nice sweat going on and your physical is intact, it releases these endorphins that gives you positivity, gives you energy, keeps you out of the dark. And so if I can already be there, it's hard to get going if I'm not going there. But if I'm moving on it and it's already a part of what I do, then when the adversity strikes, I got that I can I'm going to relieve stress through the physical exercise. I'm going to relieve stress. I'm going to get myself in a positive mindset through the breath work that I'm doing. All these things that people pass up. Like, I'll give you another nugget that I do almost daily, not every day, but almost daily, is box breathing. Box breathing. So if you don't believe me, just look it up. But I believe it was invented or highly used in our military, specifically a lot of the Navy SEALs that are in stressful situations, how to calm themselves down. And just try it one day and see how you feel. But, 5 minutes of box breathing, where it's you inhale. The reason why they call it a box breathing is you inhale like a box. So you inhale for 4 seconds. If you could draw a line with your finger, then you hold your breath for 4 seconds. Then you exhale for 4 seconds. Then you hold your breath for 4 seconds. I'm going to do it one more time. You inhale for 4 seconds. You hold your breath for 4 seconds. You exhale for 4 seconds. And then you hold your breath again for 4 seconds. And it just goes like in that box. And you could set a timer. But it's really good for your nervous system and for helping your body stay calm under stressful circumstances, which some of you out there, your stress may just be an everyday thing. So how do you relieve that? How do you get into this place that it's healthy for your body and your mind? This is something that I think can help. And so if we're doing these internal things, it's going to help you when obstacles arise. We're either going to be reactive or we're going to be proactive, but you got to choose a mindset. Do you want to be reacting to these things when they happen, or do we want to be proactive to these things when they happen? Being reactive is based on impulse and rarely gives us the best results. You know what I mean? When we're reacting to something and emotions are high, I had a friend say, when emotion is high, intelligence are low. When emotion is high, intelligence is low. And so when you have a reactive mindset, it wastes a lot of time that you could have been responding properly, and then it ends up wasting a lot of energy when you're reactive. Okay, when you're reactive, you end up with higher stress levels and panic. You end up missing out on opportunities that you could have had during those moments. You have delayed action when you needed to be taken, quicker action when you're in these moments of stress and panic. But if you're properly ready, you're going to move faster, you're going to move smarter, and you're going to make better decisions. Proactively, when you're proactive, you're able to stay calmer. You're able to act quicker because you're more prepared. And when opportunities arise, you're maximizing those opportunities because you're proactive. Proactive people develop resilience daily. You know, like I keep giving the athletes training year round, building up themselves for whatever that sport is or whatever that thing is. The same thing goes for business folks, entrepreneurs, building skills in their downtime. That's going to help them when it's go time. Okay, so for me personally, this is just my personal opinion. Doesn't mean everybody has to adopt this, but mind, body, and spirit, that routine is what keeps you ready. Mentally training yourself, physically training yourself, spiritually training yourself, growing yourself. Ask yourself right now, listening to this, what are my daily rituals? What is my daily routine to get myself in the best place, best space that I could possibly be? John Maxwell said, you'll never change your life until you change something that you do daily. The secret to a person's success is found in their daily routine, their daily agenda, is what John Maxwell said. And so on top of mind, body, spirit, what specific skills are you trying to sharpen on a daily basis that's going to help you in your craft? You know, you got to, like, what craft, what are you doing right now? What skill, if you improve that or develop that 3 months from today and it was way better, would help you? So what are those things that we're sharpening on a daily basis? And then another thing, you know, a way to grow is in reflection, self-reflection, self-awareness, just having awareness, being able to look back on past adversities that you've had and ask yourself, what have you learned from those things? You know, a lot of us have the tendency to, you know, some people get hit with adversity and they, you know, they crumble. Some people get hit with adversity and they keep plowing through. I think the healthiest way is, yeah, you got to go through that adversity, but also to look back and reflect on the adversity and learn from it. Reflect on the past adversity that you've had and ask yourself, what things, is there anything you could have prepared for? How did you handle it mentally, physically, spiritually, you know, emotionally? How did you do there? Is there anything you can learn from? Is there anything you could avoid? But just really looking back and reflecting on those adversities, because we're talking about we're either coming from one, we're in one, or we're going to one. And so a way to prepare for the next time is to just reflect on the last time a little bit. What did you do well? What could you have done differently? But I just want to encourage you right now, on the path that you're on to greatness, if you're on a growth path, you're going to have these obstacles, you're going to have these adversities, and the things that's going to separate you from everybody else is that you don't give up and how prepared you are for the next one. I'm not wishing you all any adversity. I hope you don't have any adversity for the rest of your life. I hope you don't have adversity. If you got one coming, I hope you don't have it in the next 10 years, 5, 10. I wish all of you nothing but smooth sailing, prosperity, health, happiness, all that stuff. That's my true wish for each and every one of you listening out there. But the statistics and odds say that there may be something that ends up coming up. And so all I want us to do together is to stay in a position of ready. We're not speaking negativity on ourselves. We're not thinking negativity on ourselves. We're just staying in this moment, we're staying in constant shape. It's like somebody that's in shape and they're ready for their number to be called. They're on the sidelines and they're not in the game, but they're ready to get in the game. It's just we're staying in this constant state of, I'm healthy enough that I'm in shape enough to go run this mile if I had to. Not that I want to go run the mile, or not that I want to go run 5 miles, but I'm healthy enough that I can get through that if I needed to. I'm in good enough shape. I'm not in a position where I'm so stagnant right now. If I had to, I couldn't make it through 5 miles. I couldn't run, and it's not about running. This isn't about physical. I'm talking about I couldn't make it through 3 miles of adversity. I couldn't make it through a mile of adversity because mentally I'm not prepared. And so I want you guys to just prepare yourself, take care of yourself, invest into yourself, motivation daily, building up your soul, building up your mind, building up yourself, so we're ready if your number get called. Okay? God bless you. I thank you for taking time out today. You could have done anything else in your life, and you said, I'm going to invest 15, 16 minutes and spend time in the GRINDcast studio with Simon and Josh. And so we appreciate you. Just wanted to say thank you. And if you think the message helps anybody, feel free to pass it on to somebody that we can impact together. And we appreciate you joining us on another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day.